Hi, good afternoon, folks. At least it's afternoon for me. Welcome to the Solo Cruise Deal USA show for Passion for Cruises USA. This is episode 5, fifth time we've been doing this. I don't know if Pete will be with us or not. He is in Iceland, or he was earlier. I'm not sure what time they sail. I had him on my show this morning. Of course, we were talking mainly about the volcano that's going off over there that he's heading toward in the next couple of days. He is not where he can see any smoke or anything from it yet, but probably tomorrow he will be able to. So anyway, I've got a bunch of stuff to go over today. So whether Pete makes it or not, I'll try to fumble through it and see if I can get through a show without screwing something up. Those of you that watch me regularly, I somehow screwed up my show this morning, and it ended up working out okay. But Pete and I had talked about 9 minutes, and all of a sudden I was not on the air. So, I'm sure I did something wrong. I couldn't figure out what it was. I thought actually that I had maybe started this show and I was going to have to redo this show, but I didn't. I didn't screw that part up. So anyway, we got a bunch of things to go over, and I just heard from the girls at Viva on a couple changes on prices, and they're keeping me updated on this all the time. There's 3 or 4 things here that I'm going to go over rather quickly that are posted on the wall. So you can just go to, the Passion for Cruises USA Facebook page and just scroll down. You'll find them on down through there if you need any further information. But these have been posted, so they've been up for a while. This is on the MSC Opera, February 25th, 2024. For those of you that like to travel and like to do some different things, this is a round tripper out of Dubai. It's an 8-day, 7-nighter. There's the various stops. I'm not going to try to pronounce some of them because I'd screw it up. Yeah, well, it's Dubai, Kasab, Oman, Muscat, Oman, Abu Dhabi in the United Arab Emirates, St. Banias in the United Arab Emirates, and then back to Dubai, 8 days and 7 nights. The junior interior rate for this is $870.64. The balcony is $1,610.64, and that includes taxes. But it doesn't have any of the extras with us. And I can't remember. There's so many things that I got hit with really quick, folks. I can't remember if it's port charges as well, but it's at least taxes are included in that, and maybe taxes and port charges. But anyway, you can call them and find out. Call them at Viva, which I'll flash that number here in a second. All right, the second one that also has been posted is another MSC cruise on the MSC Magnifica. And boy, I wish I didn't have some conflicts because I love this one. It's November 1st of this year, 2023. This is the fantastic itinerary. It starts at Civitavecchia in Italy, a day at sea, then to Palma, Mallorca, a day at sea, and to Malaga in Spain, a day at sea, and then to Portugal. Then the next day in the Canary Islands. And then we go transatlantic and come into Phillipsburg and St. Martin on day 15. Tortola, which is my favorite island, on day 16. That's the British Virgin Islands. San Juan, Puerto Rico on day 17. And an overnight there for day 18. A day at sea, and you end up in Miami on Monday, November the 20th. A 20-day, 19-night cruise, transatlantic. That's what it looks like map-wise. And here's the deal, folks. And this is one I think that changed. The inside is $947. The balcony is $1438. The inside with drinks and Wi-Fi is an additional $57 per day. The balcony with drinks and Wi-Fi is additional $86.95 per day. So that's on the transatlantic, on the MSC Magnifica. And it's one of their grand voyages. If you're interested in any of these folks, just call them at Viva Voyages. This is our toll-free exclusive line, 866-312-2314. And they can hook you right up if you're interested in them. All right, the next one, folks, is on Odyssey of the Seas. This is just such a magnificent ship. This is for December the 8th of 2024. So we got a lot of time on this one. And this sails out of Bayonne, New Jersey, which of course is Cape Liberty. And here's the itinerary on that. It sails from Cape Liberty, which is Bayonne, of course, a day at sea, goes into Orlando, which is Port Canaveral, so there can be excursions over to Port Canaveral. Then it stops on Coco Key. Perfect day at Coco Cay is the way Royal Caribbean says it. A day in Nassau, then a couple days at sea and back to Bayonne. 8 days, 7 nights. The price on this one, the inside is $1418. The balcony is $1369. The reason that I went over this one, folks, did you see that? The balcony is cheaper than the insides. And that's not a misprint. That is the correct pricing. And of course, this cruise goes to Perfect Day at Coco Cay, to Nassau. And you know, Nassau, if you haven't stayed on top of it, has just opened up all the new, the project that they've been working on for, 5 years now, is now all open. I have not been there since the grand opening, so I'm looking forward to visiting in Nassau again. Then on board the Odyssey, you've got the sky pad. You can do a little surf simulating. You can get up in the sky thingy, whatever you call that thing that goes way up in the air. Yeah, no. The thing about the ships that I've been on that I have that, I can't get on that because you have to go up steps, and I can't do that. So anyway, again, call Viva 866-312-2314. Let's get that out right. All right, so those are all posted on the wall. If you need any further information on them, you can go to the wall and check. The wall is, of course, the Passion for Cruises USA Facebook page. All right. That brings us up to the 2 deals for today. And by the way, folks, they are posting deals now daily. So you need to be checking back on a fairly regular basis. The girls are just doing a phenomenal job. And keep in mind, folks, these are not hosted cruises. We'll make a special announcement on anything that are hosted. However, the more of these bookings that we have for these solo deals, the better the deals are going to get. That's what they found in Europe, and they're getting really terrific deals over there. The more we are successful with this, the better deals will keep coming. So if you're interested, jump on. All right. This is on Spectrum of the Seas. It's actually the second Asian cruise that has been posted on the wall. This one is Royal Caribbean's Spectrum Thailand and Vietnam cruise. This is for January 2nd. of 2024. The itinerary, and again, I would love this itinerary. It goes from sails from Singapore, goes to Thailand, goes to Cambodia, goes to Vietnam. I would love to do this. The detailed itinerary, it sails from Singapore, a day at sea, then Nha Trang, Vietnam, Ho Chi Minh, Vietnam, a day at sea, Bangkok in Thailand, and that is an overnighter in Bangkok, a couple days at sea, and back to Singapore. That would be right up my alley. And some of the things in Bangkok that you can see. All right, here's the deal. Non-refundable deposit. The inside cabin is $1,364. The balcony cabin is $2,973. And then on the regular deal, it's $1,434 and $3,187. So non-refundable and the regular refundable. All right. This is the Escape for September 3rd, folks. So that's not very long. This is not the Escape deal that we're doing in December. This is a September 3rd sailing, 7 nights departing out of New York on the Norwegian Escape. And here's the itinerary. It goes from New York, a day at sea, to Portland, Maine, Bar Harbor, Maine the next day, to St. John in the Bay of Fundy. That's where the river goes backwards due to the tides. Then to Halifax, Nova Scotia, a day at sea and back to New York. That's your typical cruise. That's, from New York or Boston that covers New England and Canada, the eastern provinces of Canada. I have done this cruise twice before. I love it up there, especially if you like lobster, guys. In Portland and Bar Harbor, you can get some of the most outrageous lobster in the world. I just absolutely love it. There's the map on where she goes. Again, St. John is a very favorite port of mine. I've always been totally fascinated by the Bay of Fundy and the St. John River. So much so that when I was I think it was in the 8th grade, I wrote a paper on that. And I've been fascinated with it ever since. Bar Harbor, just gorgeous scenery in Maine. And again, the food is wonderful. Halifax has become a bustling major city. All right, here's the deal, folks. Inside cabin with the take-all package from Norwegian is $1,876. The balcony is $2,684. And of course, that includes the open bar, specialty dining. I don't know if that's 1 or 2 meals. That's one that changes constantly. We had 2 when we were on the Joy. Not sure if it's 1 or 2. You get a $50 per excursion credit. If you can do 2 excursions in a port, that's $100. It gets credited back to your account. And it works. It does. It's exactly what it says. And then, of course, the Norwegian Wi-Fi, that's good for 150 minutes. It's kind of tricky, folks, if you haven't done a Norwegian cruise, but the 150 Wi-Fi, you have to turn it off and turn it back on and turn it off and turn it back on so it doesn't suck up your minutes. So it's kind of a pain. For me, that's not enough time. So I had no choice but to get the regular Wi-Fi package as well. But still, for those of you that just might, want to make a couple calls or check your email or something, that works. So Those are the two packages that they've given us for today. The Escape in September and the Spectrum of the Sea in January next year. So, all right, let's see who's over here. If there's any questions that I need to try to answer. Pete never did make it. I'm really surprised. Of course, they might have sailed. It's cold and windy over there. So you never can tell. All right, M's here. Chris is with us. Hi, Chris. Looking forward to sailing with Chris again. There's Lori. Hi, Lori. Good to see you. Dennis is here. Wasn't rolling my R's. Yeah, Dennis is my Italian coach. Magnifica. Magnifica. The GN in Italian is pronounced NY like lasagna. GN like the N with the funky thing in Spanish. Magnifica. And Emily says hello to everybody having a late breakfast. North Star, yeah, that's what that thing is called. At my age, Lori, I forget things pretty easily. So, yeah, I'm gonna celebrate my 76th on this next cruise. Yeah. The Reversing Falls. Yeah, I just like St. John. I've had a couple restaurants that I like there, a couple bars. I've had some adult beverages there. And the same thing with, some people don't care for Halifax. I was in Halifax one year for O Canada Day and went down into town and turned up the hill. It's a pretty good sized hill in Halifax, up a couple streets and came down that street about in the middle of the block and found a nice little locals tavern. And we went inside and spent all afternoon there watching a parade for O Canada Day, or whatever they call it up there. The 1st of July, I think it is, or 2nd of July. So I did that one time, and it was just terrific fun. That was when I was traveling with a partner, and she and I were the only Americans in the place. Of course, it's a little, different than some of the foreign countries, but still, the Canadians, and they treated us really nice. Like, oh, I got a couple of Americans here. That's cool. So, Emily says, I've done that cruise in 2019. Yes, Maine is where you can get really good lobster. Dennis says, Maine lobster is fantastic. So much better than Caribbean or Australian lobster. I agree. I love Maine lobster. Robin's with us. Hi, Robin. Good to see you again. Magnifica. Dennis is still trying to teach me Italian. Magnifica. There we go. Magnifica. Ooh, that's tough. Dennis says hello to Robin. Everybody saying hello to Robin. Yes, the tide is fascinating. I have pics on my Facebook from the Backwards River. Yeah, that's pretty cool. All right, guys. Well, I'm sorry that Pete didn't make it. How's my time doing? Yeah, that's what we try to do, 20 minutes or so on this show. Again, folks, if you are interested in any of the cruises that I mentioned today, go check the Facebook page if you want more information, or give them a call at Viva Voyages, 866-312-2314, and ask them questions about any of the cruises that are posted. These last two will be posted in the next few minutes. And there'll be another post tomorrow on something else they found. Some of them can be real quickies that may only last a day or two until somebody grabs them. But, that's okay. Check them. If you see one you like, grab it and grab. Just go for it. All right, that's going to wrap up episode 5 of the Solo Cruise Deal Show here on Passion for Cruises USA Solos. You guys have a fantastic week. Love to have you join me on my regular show at 11 o'clock Eastern Time every day. And if not, we'll see you next time for episode 6. Next Wednesday, same time, same place, for some more solo deals. See you guys next week. Have a fantastic week, everybody. See you next time.